Hey, welcome back to another video, and thanks for watching and continue to watch as well. It's a topic as which has come up quite often, as the title suggests. Really, is sex painful after being circumcised? Well, if you want to know the answer to that, then if you subscribe to the video, then I'll give you that answer. No, only joking, really. I'm going to give you the answer, to be honest with you. Well, I can only give you the answer from a personal perspective, really. Now, just to recap on a couple of bits and pieces, really. I had a circumcision operation done. It's coming up to nearly 3 months ago now. So it's 3 months this Saturday. So yeah, I mean it's a milestone to be happy with. I had the operation due to medical complications where there were tears in my foreskin, which it never used to be there when I was younger in my 20s, but sort of in my 30s it started happening more and more often, and it was getting very uncomfortable to have any form of sexual relationship or even masturbation or anything like that. It just got very painful, and anyone who's gone through this or is experienced will know exactly what I mean, where you get these tiny little slits on the foreskin, and it's like paper cuts, and it's extremely painful and certainly not pleasant. And yeah, there's various different ways of dealing with it, and one of the things I had to try was hormonal creams and stretching and all the various different pieces. But long and short of the story is that nothing really worked for me, and it didn't actually help. It actually made it worse. The hormonal cream for me actually made it worse. It made the thin skinner, and so it tore a lot easier. So that led to me down the route to having a circumcision done. So it's purely by medical reasons and not for physical aesthetics or anything along those lines. So yeah, so the question being, which I'm sure a lot of guys want to know the answer to, and it certainly is something which I want to know as well, is having sex different after being circumcised? Well, I'll cut straight to it, really, and the answer is yes, it does feel different. Not in a bad way, though. I've read a lot of stories, and I certainly had a lot of people message me saying it's going to be awful, you're going to lose all sensitivity, it's just going to be the worst thing you've ever done in your life, and you're going to regret it. So you get those sort of messages, you read all that, and the first thing you start thinking is, oh my God, what have I done? I know this was done for medical reasons, but it's my life now for the next 50 years. It's going to be miserable. Sex is going to be terrible. Am I just going to give up on it altogether? Well, thankfully, I didn't listen to those messages, and I certainly didn't take it to heart. The difference in being, really, now this is from my perspective, and it's going to be different for every other person, is that yes, to some extent there is a slight desensitization. Now that's only on the glands, I felt, where it's slightly desensitized, but as it's not fully desensitized. So there still is, it's only around, for me, it's only around where the incision mark was, where the skyline is. That's very still sensitive still. So I think it's as you get more sexually aroused, I think the nerves around the area, and certainly in the gland areas, seem to wake up, and it does actually get more sensitive the longer you have sex, and it does actually become more pleasurable. Is it as pleasurable as it was before being circumcised? No, it's not as pleasurable, but it's not worse, if that makes sense. I think a good way of describing it would be having sex with a condom on, effectively, where you've got this extra layer of protection over your glands, and it slightly desensitizes it. And I think that's probably as close comparison as I can probably get it, really. It's just, it has that sort of feeling where, yeah, you can still feel it. It's not horrible at all. It's just different. In terms of pain, being a couple of months after being circumcised. Now, one of the things to me which was subconscious was it going to hurt? Again, you read the articles out there, and it says around the incision line with the swelling, it's going to be very sore, very painful. Now I'm not going to lie, the first time I tried it, it was very sore. The way it felt that the skin was really tight around the skyline, and it felt like it was going to rip and tear. And in my mind, I was very conscious about that, and I didn't want to actually push anything too much, and wanted to take things easily. Now I used, or I would use and recommend using, as a lube, because that helps soften the skin, and I have been using bio oil as well to try and lubricate the skin, to try and make the skin more supple. Now I have been told, and this is completely natural, and there's nothing to be concerned about this, for for 3 to 6 months while your skin is healing and re-stretching itself. It just takes time to stretch to the length it's got to be when you get a normal erection. And even with the normal erection, with you having sex or masturbation, the skin is slightly moving and pulling against it. So you do have that tightness. That's something which I was feeling, and I thought, oh, this is getting really sore. Now, since then, I've used a lot more bio oil and bits and pieces, and it's gotten better every single time. So now, it doesn't feel so tight anymore. It's starting to feel a bit more natural, and the feeling is starting to come back even more and more, which is obviously great news. Some summary of that, it's not painful, but it's just uncomfortable. Saying a little bit of a lie there. It was, when I say it was uncomfortable, it felt, when it first started out, it felt a little like it was going to tear. It was a sharp pain, but that eased away quite quickly. So all in all, not an issue at all. So that's kind of, my feelings for it and my personal experience for, having a sexual relationship after a circumcision, be it 3 months post-circumcision. So all I can say on that side of things, for me, it didn't lose full sensitivity, and I would not believe, these articles that says you're going to lose maximum sensitivity and you're never going to feel anything again. It's not necessarily true. Everybody's different. Everybody is, body's heals different at different speeds and different rates. So again, this is my experience only, and I can't comment on anyone else out there and everyone else's experiences. But from speaking to other people on this matter who who know have been circumcised as well, and I did say to them, did you experience the same situation? And everybody agrees, from who I've spoken to, is that yes, in the initial early stages, you will lose a very minor amount of sensitivity where your body is still healing, but that does come back. And it will get back to a stage where, you can have a very good sexual relationship and very much enjoy it. So all I can say from that is, don't be over concerned. If you're reading these articles out there and reading these forums that you're going to be spending the rest of your life having a miserable sex life, don't take that to heart too much, and please don't read into it, because it's as I've now found out, it's not completely true. As for whether or not that's scaremongering, I couldn't comment, but just bear with it. Just bear with the process and trust in it that it will get better, and you will regain some form of sensitivity, and you will have a great sex life going forward for the rest of your life. So yeah, thanks for watching. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, please put it in the section below down there, and I will do my best to answer them as much as I can. And again, if there's any other areas which people want me to talk about, feel free to write that in there, and I'll do my best to video on that as well. Well, thanks for watching, and look forward to the next video.